This incident happened around 1966, involving my father and someone who, in relation, was my grandfather. I heard this story directly from my father. Although the event itself is long and intense, I'll try to present it in a clear and concise way. A long time ago, my grandfather lived in a quiet green village. His name was Maksud Sheikh. By profession, he was a Kobaraj, a traditional healer. He was young, fearless, and well-respected. He could also sing beautifully and used to perform every year at the village folk music gatherings. His house stood at the far edge of the fields, isolated and quiet. One day, several people rushed a young girl to my grandfather's house for treatment. My grandfather wasn't home at the time. The girl's behavior was extremely abnormal. Neighbors gathered around, alarmed by her condition. Someone was sent to call my grandfather. When he arrived, he immediately sent everyone away and began treating the girl. What he saw was horrifying. The girl's tongue was stretching out unnaturally, touching the ground again and again. Her eyes were bloodthirsty and wild. She was tearing out her own hair with her hands. Even with all his strength and experience, my grandfather could barely control her. In the end, he managed only a temporary treatment. He applied oil, gave her holy water, and told her family to bring her back the following week. Life returned to normal, at least on the surface. Then, one night, my grandfather had a dream. In it, a grotesque middle-aged woman with a twisted face appeared before him and said,
"Don't separate me from her. If you do, disaster will fall upon you." He woke up shaken, but dismissed it as just a dream. The very next night, my grandmother had a dream. The same distorted female figure appeared and told her, "Tell your husband not to separate me from her." In the morning, my grandmother shared the dream. My grandfather brushed it off and told her it was nothing, just a restless night. He gave her some religious instructions to follow before sleeping. 7 days later, the girl was brought back. This time, her condition was far worse. My grandfather quickly realized the truth. A jinn was attached to her, a female jinn. The family trusted him completely and begged him to take responsibility. Using all his knowledge and rituals, he eventually managed to drive the jinn away. But no one knew that the jinn he expelled would soon turn his own life into darkness. At that time, my grandmother was pregnant. One night, holding a dim hurricane lamp, she stepped outside. Near the drumstick tree beside the yard, she noticed something moving. Thinking it might be cattle, she moved closer. What she saw defied all logic. Sitting beneath the tree was the same terrifying woman from her dreams, blood-red circular marks around her neck, eyes glowing like fresh blood, staring straight at her. My grandmother screamed and collapsed unconscious. When she regained consciousness, she told everyone what she had seen. The next day, my grandfather locked the house. A few months later, my grandmother went into labor. It was her first child. The midwife froze in shock. The baby was stillborn with blood-red marks around its neck and blood-red eyes, exactly like that woman under the tree. The child was buried immediately. For 2 or 3 months, everything remained quiet. Then, one night, my grandfather was invited to perform at a folk music event in a neighboring village. He finished late and began his journey home near midnight. To reach home, he had to cross a river by ferry and pass by a cremation ground. The night was pitch black. Silence pressed in from all directions. He carried a 3-battery flashlight. Suddenly, he smelled something foul, rotten, unnatural. He felt someone behind him. Thinking it might be another villager, he turned the flashlight around, but saw nothing. A chill bit into his spine. He recited prayers and continued walking, though unease followed him. Ahead lay the jackfruit orchard, a place no one dared to cross alone, especially at night, but it was the shortest route home. As he walked deeper, the stench grew stronger. Then he heard footsteps, dry leaves crunching beside him. Without realizing it, his flashlight turned toward the orchard. In the faint light, he saw something emerging from a grave. At first, he thought it was an animal. Then he knew it was the same grotesque woman from his dreams. Before he could react, the flashlight slipped from his hand and went out. Darkness swallowed him whole. Then he heard her voice. "I warned you, don't separate me from her." She attacked from behind, biting, crushing, pinning him down. He screamed prayers, fighting with every ounce of strength. The pressure on his back became unbearable. His body went numb. He felt his soul leaving. With his last strength, he shouted, "Allahu Akbar," and jerked violently. Suddenly, the weight vanished.
He ran. He doesn't know where he ran or for how long. The last thing he remembers is seeing a faint light before losing consciousness. The next morning, he woke up in his bed, surrounded by villagers. He told them everything. He survived, but his body never recovered. His waist was permanently damaged, his back bent forward. He walked with a stick for the rest of his life. Later, another renowned healer confirmed the jinn he expelled had taken revenge for the girl, for the unborn child, for everything. That healer finally captured the jinn, sealed it in a bottle, and threw it into the waters of the Bairab River. My grandfather lived many more years, but he was never the same. Nothing like this ever happened to our family again. This was the incident. Thank you for listening. This incident happened to my grandfather's family. For obvious reasons, I won't mention the name of my grandfather's village, and I won't use anyone's real name. I'm telling this story exactly the way I heard it from my mother. The year was 1997. I was 14 years old at the time. My uncle was only 7, and this entire incident revolves around him. One late afternoon, I noticed that my mother, your grandmother, seemed extremely restless. She was walking back and forth, clearly worried about something. When I asked her what was wrong, she brushed it off and said it was nothing. I didn't think much of it and went back to doing household chores. A short while later, the Maghrib prayer call echoed through the area. That's when I noticed something strange. My mother was quietly heading toward the back of our house, holding something in her hands. It was starting to get dark outside. Without saying anything, I followed her. Behind our house, next to the pond, there was a Fazli mango tree. I saw my mother sitting beneath the tree, crouched down, doing something. When I looked more closely, I realized she was carefully covering part of the tree's roots with red clay. After a while, she returned to the house as if nothing had happened. I didn't question her, but she seemed distant, distracted. That night, after dinner, we all went to sleep as usual. Around 2 a.m, I woke up and saw my mother heading outside again, holding something. I assumed she was going to the bathroom, so I went back to sleep.
The next morning, when I asked her about it, she said, "Call your father, I'll explain everything." Then she began. She said that 2 nights earlier, she had a very strange dream. In the dream, 2 middle-aged men wearing long robes appeared before her. They were strong, well-built, and unusually handsome. One of them spoke and said, "You are an honest and kind-hearted person. We want to give you something." He told her, "Tomorrow evening, go to the mango tree behind your house near the pond. Cover the roots with red clay and then leave." Then he continued, "Later that night, in the dead of night, go back there holding the Quran to your chest. Do not be afraid. Take the name of Allah and go. You will see the ground split open beneath the tree, and 2 treasure pots will rise from the earth. 2 snakes will be guarding them, and the pots will have eyes glowing like fire." He warned her, "Do not panic. Say Bismillah and place your hands on the pots. The snakes will disappear. Take both pots home. Do not look back. Keep one for yourself and donate the other to the mosque. You will never face financial hardship in your life, but there is one condition. Never tell anyone about this. If you do, there will be consequences." After hearing this, my father went to the spot with a digging tool and turned the soil. He did find 2 pots, but they were completely empty. That's when my mother became terrified, afraid that something bad might happen. The day passed normally, but that night we woke up to my mother screaming. When we asked what happened, she said the same 2 men had appeared in her dream again. This time, they were furious. They asked why she had broken the condition and told everything to others. As punishment, they said they would take her son, my uncle. I tried to calm her down, saying nothing would happen. Eventually, she settled. For several days, everything remained quiet.
Then, one night, my mother suddenly realized my uncle was missing. He wasn't in the house. Panic broke out. My father grabbed a lantern and my uncles went out searching. Everyone was crying. After hours of searching, they returned exhausted, unable to find him. They searched the house again, nothing. Then, just as the Fajr call to prayer echoed through the air, something unbelievable happened. My uncle was standing in the courtyard. When we asked him where he had been, he said nothing. He just stared. My mother recited prayers, blew gently over him, and put him to sleep. Around 9 a.m., he woke up. When asked what happened, he said, "Mom, Sadiqul came and asked me to go play. I followed him and he took me toward the graveyard. After that, I don't remember anything. I woke up in my bed." When Sadiqul was questioned, he denied everything. He said he never came that night. My uncle was taken to the local imam, who performed spiritual healing and said a harmful jinn had set its eyes on him. He gave him an amulet and warned that it should never be removed. Years passed. Everything returned to normal. My uncle got married and had a son. When his son turned 1 year old, something strange happened again. But that part you already know. You saw it yourself. Yes, the story doesn't end there. This next part, I witnessed with my own eyes. I was staying at my grandparents' house that night. Around midnight, I woke up to shouting. Everyone was asking what happened. They said my uncle had left the house about an hour earlier and hadn't returned. My grandfather went searching, calling his name loudly, but there was no response. Time passed, then the sound of the Fajr prayer drifted through the air. As my grandfather walked near the graveyard, calling out my uncle's name, he noticed something near an old grave. Using his flashlight, he saw my uncle lying unconscious beside it. They carried him home. He had a high fever. There were deep scratch marks all over his body, some still bleeding. My grandmother cleaned the wounds and applied medicine. By noon, my uncle awoke, still burning with fever. When asked what happened, he said, "I was asleep at home. I don't know how I got there. When I woke up, I realized I was in a graveyard, trying to run back home. That's when 2 figures dressed in white appeared. They tried to force me into a broken grave." He said he fought with everything he had, reciting every prayer he knew. Their strength was overwhelming. He could hear his father calling him, but he couldn't respond. His voice wouldn't come out. Just as they were about to push me into the grave, he said, I heard the Fajr call to prayer. After that, I remember nothing. He lost consciousness. My grandmother then said quietly, maybe this is connected to what happened all those years ago. The 2 men in white, they might be the same ones. After more spiritual healing and another amulet, nothing like this ever happened again. This was my story.